this weekend I'm going to the London Guitar Show. Today is Friday, the show is on Sunday. Pretty much there, pretty much ready, but today is my day getting the last bit sorted. Just out for the morning dog walk and then we'll get going. Thought I'd show you what I'm taking, run you through the demo pedal board and show you packaging, that sort of stuff, all the stuff that is last minute or reasonably last minute for going to one of these kind of trade shows. So as well as building up some stock for the show, I've also obviously continued to take orders, and so that's what I'm going to start doing this morning, is building another Embers pedal, an order which came in last night or the night before. I think it was yesterday. So getting on with that to begin with. So what should have been could have been quite a productive day didn't end up too productive. I can't remember if I said earlier, but I was waiting on a package to arrive and it did not arrive. It's got knobs in for a few of the pedals that I'm taking to the show on Sunday. Hopefully it arrives tomorrow. And it's just one of those things with like a bit of a knock-on effect really. Because I want to take new photos of the pedals. I need to print the kind of info sheet that goes in with them, package them all up. I think that's everything. I've got everything else ready to go. That's kind of put a pause on the stuff for today. So maybe it'll be delivered tomorrow and we can do it then. So you join me at the end of the next day. I thought I would give the benefit of the doubt to Royal Mail, but alas, no delivery of knobs. And so tonight begins the production line of getting the original knobs on the pedals I have to sell. I'm still going to have a few that are built but with no knobs, but that's okay. It's good to have a bit of stock. What I'm going to do is offer a discount, so 10% off if you pre-order. So if you want to buy one at the show, there'll be normal price, but if you're happy to wait a bit, you can get a 10% discount if you order there and then at the show. So here we go, putting knobs on, and let's go. This is the demo pedal board. I'm taking my prototype twin parallel on the demo board because I do not have enough knobs to not do that. Oh man, lining up these knobs is going to be a pain. Too far the other way. Come on, be the one. There. Oh no, it had moved. Phone down. Okay, there we go. All the way up, all the way up. Good enough for a prototype. There are the ones. So I've got 2 twin boosts that are done, an Embers which is done, one without knobs or faceplate, one without pots or circuit wiring, an 8 done which I'll put those knobs on, and then 2 parallels done which I'll put those on one of them and package it up ready to go. So at least I'll have 1 twin boost, 1 8, 1 Embers, 1 twin parallel, 2 twin boosts, an Embers and an 8. And then on the board I'm taking this. So we've got the tuner, so people can tune, but also to prove that the companion makes the Embers work nicely after a buffer. And then I go from the Embers into this octave up. I prefer them this way around. Go from there into my modded ODR1 for a bit of kind of natural overdrive. And then from there, I'm coming into twin parallel, into the 8, into the twin boost, into the HX stomp. And I think I'll use the AC30 patch like I did last time. And we'll see. If I've got time this evening, I might do like a strip there that says Hamilton Effects. But we'll see. Okay, I've changed my mind already. What's that? Oh, a bit of cable. I had the small knobs on the prototype, one of these. I think I'm going to change them. So I'm taking 2 twin parallels rather than taking an 8 as stock. I'll leave the 8 here. People can pre-order it for 10% off. But to be honest, I've not sold many 8s. I think the twin parallel will be a better seller. So I'm going to take those two. I'm going to swap them for the big knobs and leave the 8 at home sans knobs. I think that's the best thing to do. So that is the 5 pedals that I have. I'm taking with me all packed up, ready to go. I can't remember if I said, but because of the lack of delivery, I have an Embers without, well, that's not got the faceplate either, and without knobs, and an 8 without knobs. I have another Embers, but that's for an order on the website, so that's not finished yet. Okay, this is the board that I'm taking. The only thing that's missing is power for the stomp. Where did I put that? So I need to make, or at least check, the patch that I have on my stomp for that, and then I will run through some of the different sounds that we've got. Okay. We have, that's not plugged in, power, good. Okay, nice. Oh, we want to make this really neat. Right, okay, don't need the Amazon package there in the way. Let's set up for recording. One of the things that is so convenient about using an 8-check stomp is I'm now set up for recording. It is USB straight in. Buddy. Good. It works as an audio interface. It's good for reamping as well, which is very cool. You can obviously record direct from it and the amp sounds, and because you aren't using its output, you could send this to an actual amp. I reckon you could also have it so that, like, you can send, actually yeah, you could have the send going to an actual amp. Like a different amp, like a valve amp or something. You could do a stereo send actually into 2 different valve amps, have them mic'd up, and then from this capture DI from like the amp models in here, the IRs, and the dry, like pure direct DI guitar sound. That's cool, I'm going to try that one day. I only thought of that just now. There we go. Good enough. First things first, I'm gonna save this to a new one and call it AC30. Nice. Okay, let's take you through your pedals. So chromatic tuner, obvious, this isn't modded, but it has buffered bypass, which makes this integral when we're using fuzz. Embers Fuzz is a vintage style fuzz. It's very loud because when you switch this, it engages this control. That control, when it's all the way up, does nothing. But when you engage it, you have this kind of controllable input level, underdrive if you like. I'm going to turn that delay off because I don't need it on. This is the reason why I built this, because I really like that kind of sound, but also I like this sound. This switch on the companion changes the treble response. And that's loud because depending on the setting, the input level is quite drastically different, and so you can turn it up and have it like a nice clean boost. Like a textured clean boost. I really like that. Okay, cool. So that's the Embers. Normal bias is kind of there. Inside there's a bass control switch, which you can switch to be less bassy. Still reacts in the same way, kind of works better with a band mix. Obviously we're not in a band mix. I'm trying to sell pedals, and so we want as much bass as possible. Go from there into the companion. No, that's the companion. Don't really have a name for this, but it's a kind of analog octave up. Classic 12th fret neck pickup. Quite harsh on its own, but I think I'm clipping something there. That's not really a production model. I just made that because it goes quite nicely with this. I might build a deluxe Embers at some point, which is a combination of these three, but that's not even in the prototype stages yet. And then we're onto the modded ODR1, change the clipping diodes, and I really prefer the way that it responds. You can't see the level or drive knobs, but I just remember it in the way it's opposite to a Boss, so although I can't remember it now. That one's volume. No, this one's volume. Brilliant. Anyway. So much more usable. I know the original one is usable, but like for me at least, this is a lot more. And then if you push the drive, it kind of almost gets to the thing that I would use like a Rat for. Maybe a little bit more tame. But yeah, I really like that pedal. I also had a modded SD1. I haven't modded another one recently. I sold the one that I did at the Brighton Guitar Show. That's that. The new one, the twin parallel. So this uses the two circuits from this, or my favorite versions of the two, a bias starved version of the left side and a gain down version of the right side. This is the gain down version of the right side. You can tell this is the prototype. And then the mix all the way up is the left side. And then you can blend them in, which is really nice. You've got to cut some of that harsh treble off. Kind of works like a nice classic overdrive if you do that. Different amps need it a bit more. Fender would do a little bit more, in my opinion anyway. Boost into it. So you can keep some of that like clarity while blending in some of the more biasy weird stuff. I realise I'm just playing the same riffs over and over again. Then there's this. Is that obvious? There you go, that's obvious. That's the attenuation switch. The twin boost is really loud. Is a boost, well it's 2 boosts. So far, the whole demo of the twin parallel, I've been attenuating it, so you can hear like the character of the pedal. But if you unattenuate it, it boosts the amp really nicely. Nice. On to the 8. So as we are here, we got this tone switch, which more importantly than the sound of it, changes the LED color. That changes like the low pass into the overdrive of the circuit. So this is as dark as it goes. It's kind of less driven because you're letting less treble into the drive circuit. Turn it up a bit. Hello, a bit more. And then this is no low pass. That's that. This switch changes the diodes to be asymmetrical rather than symmetrical. Louder. So if you match the volume. I like this. Can your Tube Screamer clone do this? And then we have this boost, circuit. This switch bypasses the clipping diodes, so it gets louder, but less clipped, but retaining the same character. So gain here, let's go that. So we got this with the boost off. Engage the boost. It's louder but less compressed, and you get some drive out of the amp. So that's that. Really nice if you've kind of got a drive sound that you like, and then you just kind of want more with less. So say you got this, your rhythm sound. This could be your, I don't know, big chorus sound. Or maybe you're doing something like. You just need that extra bit of sustain, and then you go into the solo. I mean, both are nice, aren't they? But if you want more volume, but not more gain. you don't kind of lose anything that you would do if you were pushing volume and gain. Anyway, that's not been super popular yet, but I don't really know why. I guess everyone's got their version of a Tube Screamery thing, but maybe it's the colour, not sure. And I don't actually have any of these built ready to go because of the whole knob issue. So they will be only on pre-order. Pre-order prices at the show will be a bit discounted. So then we have the Twin Boost, which was number one, pedal number one from Hamilton Effects. Unity volume is low on the volume because it is a boost. Here's the right side. The gain control slightly biases the transistor as well, but you don't get too much really. I mean, that is quite gainy all the way up. There's a lot of clean boost. And then you have the left side, which has a set gain point, but you've got a bias control. Bias all the way up is biased as it should be, if you like. Kind of loud, but as you turn the bias down, you're starving the transistor a bit, so all the way up. So it kind of gets a bit more compressed, tames some of those high ends, bit more smooth, if you like. Almost like fuzz without the fuzz. Like something's broken. And then you turn them both on, you've got this direction toggle that points at whatever one's first. The one that isn't first, volume control acts as volume. The one that is first, volume control acts as gain that smashes into the first one. So that's what everyone's doing individually. Obviously you can combine them and it's nice. They're all the Hamilton Effects pedals at the moment and it's all working, and so I'm going to save this. Done. I was going to record a time lapse of doing this, but doing Pete's gold top, and Even this custom gauge that he started using, which is interesting. So yeah, we'll do this, and then I've got my normal set of 11s for my telly, and we're taking Pete's green strap, but the strings aren't that good anyway. Pete's Les Paul done onto my telly now. I feel like people don't choose this one because it's got nothing on the headstock. Certainly in Brighton that was the case. People didn't really play this one. I think one person played it. But it's a nice guitar. Bright and early Sunday morning, and I'm just picking up Chris, and then we will be on our way. Driving home in the rain, as you can see from this interesting camera angle, but it's the safe hands-free camera angle while driving. And actually I think it's sitting down. But yeah, decent show. Sold a twin boost, which was good, to someone I had met before actually, which is cool. Yeah, he really enjoyed it. Lots of great conversations. Yeah, great to put faces to names as well. Good to hear people's comments on the pedals. Next one I'm booked onto is the Noisemakers one in Birmingham in March, the end of March. So 6 months or so, and then the next one, and then Brighton again, which I think is in July, like this one. So yeah, hope you've enjoyed watching this. Yeah. Appreciate all the support as usual. If you want to find out more, then hamiltoneffects.com or Instagram at hamiltoneffects. Thanks for watching. Yeah, subscribe, all that stuff. Check out my pedals, and hopefully I'll see you soon.